What's going on, lovely people? Korrin checking in. I'm out here in the man cave this evening. Just felt like sharing a little thoughts with y'all. I was like, let me let them step into my office. It's a good evening, feeling good. Good time to just kind of right before I go to sleep, good opportunity to just reflect and just, think about my thoughts, think about life. I would encourage y'all to do the same. Y'all probably do. The later it get, it seems like the more the more you think, the more your mind wanders. But yeah, it's just I don't know where it came from, but I just was thinking, man, it's checking out the news, just thinking about just life in general. When you look at it, man, it is very much real wicked out here. And like I say that, because you think about certain things people do, and it's like it ain't even it kind of is like, it may be crazy and insane to you, but I guess in the time you think about someone else mentally, like they felt like that was the right decision that they made. And I started just thinking like, when you make them decisions, I don't know if people in particular understand that there are consequences for all actions. Almost like Newton's law. I think it's like the third law. For every action, there's an equal opposite reaction. Same thing goes with life. It's very much applied, I feel like. And I don't believe a lot of people completely understand, or they may understand, they just don't really care. And I'm speaking from a standpoint of heaven doesn't come with guarantees. Like, the kingdom isn't just something that we are automatically entitled to. And I think a lot of people go through life thinking that that is just what's going to happen. You live, you die, you're going to go to heaven. And that's not at all the case. It's almost like going through school. You go to school, you make good grades, you feel like you're going to get a diploma. If you're in high school, you feel like you can get a degree, you're in college. You know what I mean? Like, those things are earned. If you don't, you're going to flunk out. Like, you got to go to class, you got to do the work. Some people cheat their way through. Granted, this ain't going, this is on a lower scale, so you can't really compare it to the, kingdom opportunity per se, but there's some similarities there. But at the same, like I was saying, like it's not a guarantee. The only thing guaranteed when you're birthed in life is death, and really taxes. But you ain't got to pay them if you don't want to. But really, only thing guaranteed in life is death. So with that, everything that you're doing, like I said, it's the same thing. It's like you're graduating. Heaven is like when we die, the promotion. Like, you still have an interview that you're gonna go through, right? When you in a job setting, you get that, you apply for that new position, you get promoted, but they know you. Like, if you're within the company, some people get promoted, they take a job that they feel like they're getting paid higher, and the company may not know them, so they're gonna go through an interview process to get to know them. It might be a little matter of time, but your reputation, maybe a reference or whatnot, it's going to be something that helps you land that position. So in the same sense, when you die, when we leave this earth, we don't automatically just get promoted and awarded the job in heaven. The job is awarded and earned throughout our service on earth. So everything that we do, every decision that we're making, every opportunity to serve, every ounce of resistance to temptation, those things God is like either smiling or he frowning upon, depending on the decision that you're making. And I'm saying this because, you think about people that do really cruel things. Like I said earlier, it's wicked. Okay, they do those things to individuals. Maybe they feel like it's justifiable, but I feel like from what I believe, that's just not justifiable. Like if you take a life, you know, that's really not justifiable. Granted, if someone is up here, don't get it wrong, if somebody up here about to kill me, don't get it twisted, I'm gonna defend myself. I feel like, okay, in that sense, we can justify that a little bit. So, but a lot of the times, a lot of situations, you can kind of either get yourself away from. Is what I'm essentially alluding to. So, but like I was saying, there's some people that do bad things, and you think about it. I know people. I'm gonna just speak from my experience. I know individuals that I grew up with, that I felt like were, good people, good guys. But I knew the things that they were doing though. Like I knew the lifestyle and things that they were, doing at a younger age. And granted, I didn't run with that or be a part of that, just from what my beliefs, like what Proverbs say, right? He said, turn your back on sinners, right? They'll, they're going to do things and, you know, they're going to just really decide, hey, let's go out here and let's rob. They're deciding that they just want to do that for fun. Like they find fun in that. Like they find enjoyment in it. Let's go rob somebody. Let's go kill somebody, right? And an individual that doesn't have the spiritual maturity to really understand, or really ain't even spiritual maturity, because at that time it wasn't like I was spiritually mature in a sense. Like I just knew from a spirit, like the Bible standpoint, what not to do and what he wanted me to do. It was just more so I just knew that jump wasn't right, but again, like, but those individuals though, I just know that they just naturally always just was like that, right? So we grow up and they constantly always stayed in something, they found something. They always was in trouble. It started off with small things, but they always was in trouble. I was a hard-headed kid myself. Like I did a lot of things. I stayed in trouble. My parents probably thought I was going to end up that way, for real. I'm just saying this to say that they built a reputation of, being troublemakers per se, right? Or making bad decisions, and they constantly are doing these things. And they grow up, they're still doing the same things. God is letting them off the hook. You charge it to, oh, okay, they're being immature, right? All right, okay, cool. They'll learn, hey, the government give you opportunities, arrest you, but let's get them out, give them community service, right? They're constantly in something. And I don't know if they're thinking that, or they may think that, the decision that they're making, what is that leading to, right? And I say that to say, we gotta know, as people that know individuals like that, either we're gonna help them or we're gonna try to help them. Some people you can't help who don't want to be helped, but you can continue to try to help. You don't have to give up on anybody. Or when they get themselves in situations where they can't get themselves out of, for instance, if they go out and murder someone, if they go out and commit crime against nature, decide to rape a woman, do very, very cruel things to someone, and they get locked up. I'm trying to, again, it translates, like I said, back to the beginning. For every action, there's an equal opposite reaction, as well as for every decision that we made, there's a consequence for that decision, good or bad. God sees everything. Everything that we're doing is our interview for God. just as everything that I do in school is my prerequisite for graduation. So if they decide to do these things and they get themselves in trouble, me as an individual, I don't know where people get off saying the whole hashtag free that person. You know what I mean? Like, not coming for anybody, but that never made, or it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. If that's someone that constantly is in trouble, they're constantly doing bad things, they're hurting someone, they may have went out there and murdered someone, innocent person, you know, they may have raped someone, you know, a young person that was innocently just chosen, just as the word says, you know, like I said in Proverbs, they just chose to do this, you know, and people are saying like hashtag freedom, you know, it's like, what kind of like cycle are we trying to create, or what kind of mind does that individual as well as yourself do you have to be almost like encouraging the actions that they're making, and then at the same time, God forbid they get out. I've seen this happen from a gang standpoint, you know, a gang member kills someone and then they end up in retaliation being murdered themselves, and they have constantly been, not saying you know, like I said, I'm just speaking from individuals that, you know, I know experience. You know, they've constantly kind of, like I said, had this reputation of being someone that's in trouble, or being someone that's kind of like a hothead deciding to do like their own thing. And they, like I said, murder someone, then they're murdered. And they've always like just been someone in the street. And like I said, they have a body on their own hands, and then in retaliation, they are murdered. And people are like automatically saying they're in a better place, like as if God just is going to welcome that with open arms. Like, they're not, like I said, nobody just dies and automatically you're going to heaven. Like, the way that you're living, if you're fornicating, you're doing sinful things, you're living evil, you're doing bad, you're unrighteous, you're not keeping the commandments, why would he allow you to just openly come into his kingdom and you disrespected everything that he said? Just as like in Proverbs, he said, you're going to call on him, he's going to turn away. He said he's going to laugh and in your face. Like, because you decided to ignore righteousness. You decided to ignore the correction that he gave us. In Proverbs, he says that. So I don't know if people really think that's a game or what, because someone, if they're doing evil and they are putting together a reputation to lead to them being killed themselves or having harm done to themselves, and we as the people are supporting and encouraging that, we are just as much guilty as they are for what is happening to them, because we're encouraging that. So again, everything that we do, every decision that we're making, every thing that we decide to do, not do, it is all a process and reputation being set and built for how we want God to be perceiving and receiving how we're living and wanting to interview to get in his kingdom. So I just say that to say, everything that we're doing, again, be mindful of it. Be mindful of what we're supporting and what we're encouraging, because someone sees that and this person has been someone that has been like I said, am I saying that no one should be forgiven for the things that they say? Yes, God forgives. However, at the same time, we can't take the forgiveness as a guarantee either. We can't take that as something to play with just because, oh, we know he gonna forgive, so let's do this. We know he go forgive that, let's do that. He ain't doing that. He only forgiving his people, the people that welcome him, people that really are merciful. And really, I would say, I couldn't even really say merciful because he only can get a mercy. But really are the individuals that are really sorry for and innocently they have done something that they unknowingly and truthfully feel remorse, regretful for. Those are the ones that he's going to forgive and have that forgiveness openly, willingly, readily available. But let's stop encouraging the negativity. Like, stop saying and acting like just because someone living any kind of way, they automatically gonna get into the kingdom. You don't automatically get into the kingdom. The way you live, the things that you do, the choices you make, those are the determining factors that are going to allow you an opportunity to be chosen and or interviewed for the kingdom. At the end of the day, he's going to decide if he's going to let you into the kingdom. But if you living wrong, you living foul, every consequence, every decision that you make has an equal consequence for it. And we as the people have to understand that, have to live by that, have to hold each other accountable, and stop supporting and acting as if like it's automatically going to happen. Hey, this person living crazy, they get murdered. Yo, hey, they're going to heaven. No, they're not. They're not. Like, heck, I don't even know if I'm going to heaven. Granted, the way I live my life, I don't make that decision, but the things that I don't make the decision for if I'm getting in, But right now, I walk a certain way, hold myself accountable, try to keep the commands, live in his, righteousness. And that is my track record for if I'm gonna be graduated and promoted into the kingdom. So this was Korrin checking in. Look yourself in the mirror, hold yourself accountable, stay true to yourself, hold your friends accountable, and stay safe. Peace.